Good afternoon. Today I will discuss a stakeholder meeting I facilitated in the conference room of Sacred Heart High School on the afternoon of May 13th. The presentation will consist of two components. First, I will review the agenda that was prepared before the meeting. I will then discuss what I learned from the dialogue, the major themes that emerged during the discussion, the strengths and areas for improvement of the current decision-making process, and the areas that warrant immediate attention and concern. The agenda for the meeting was submitted in a separate file. For context, I will briefly summarize it here. Attendees at the meeting included the school's principal, assistant principal, director of guidance, and STEM department chair. The stakeholders were chosen because they represent diverse perspectives in the school community. The principal and assistant principal provide a broad view of the school's workings. The STEM department chair can provide a teacher's perspective, and the director of guidance works closely with students and families, making her a valuable advocate for their points of view. Due to the time restraints placed on the meeting, only one objective and SMART goal were set. The meeting objective was to engage in collaborative dialogue and evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of Sacred Heart High School's current decision-making process. The SMART goal established was that by the conclusion of the meeting, the group would have evaluated the school's decision-making process and established at least 2 action steps to improve collaborative decision-making at Sacred Heart High School. Current decision-making opportunities include selecting the university to begin the school's college-level education classes with, establishing a medical or STEM research program, deciding how to best communicate the change in the structure of the school day to parents and students, a potential change in the dress code policy, and reevaluating the school's enrichment trip choices and the structure of grade-level retreats. The meeting began with an overview of the agenda. The spaces on the agenda for stakeholder feedback and next steps were originally left blank so that attendees could write notes on the meeting's happenings and outcomes. Overall, I learned that the stakeholder feedback was consistent across positions in the school. As a result, key themes in the discussion surfaced rather quickly. First, the school, namely the administration, must find creative ways to elicit classroom teacher and parent feedback and voluntary involvement in decision-making. This means making an effort to engage in collaborative dialogue more frequently with all stakeholders. One area of concern was the lack of structure and consistency in monthly faculty meetings. The stakeholders discussed the importance of pre-planning an agenda for these meetings. The agendas must include discussions of important decisions that are yet to be made. These agendas should be emailed in advance to allow faculty members to think about the topics and meaningfully engage in the dialogue during the meetings. The group ended the meeting by establishing next steps. First, stakeholders will be invited to join focus groups at the end of June. The groups will include a faculty focus group, a student focus group, a parent focus group, and an alumni and benefactor focus group. Quarterly meetings will be established with these groups, except for the faculty group, which will meet monthly. The purpose of these groups will be to help the school's administration get an understanding of the diverse perspectives of its stakeholders and help find meaningful ways to engage them to take ownership of the school and play a part in the collaborative decision-making process. Reflecting on the lessons and themes of the meeting, I can see that the chief strength of the school's decision-making process is rooted in its sincere desire to incorporate the values of inclusive leadership. The school's leadership routinely tries to elicit the opinions of faculty, students, families, and alumni. However, there must be more consistent and structured communication and more creative engagement strategies. Immediate steps that the school's leadership must take are better structuring faculty meetings and recruiting stakeholders for the June focus groups.